Oh my gosh. Did Shin start on time today? What? Oh, that's crazy. We're improving already. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Whoops. Well, there's a little bit of scuff still, but we are overall doing better than yesterday, and I will take that. Let me introduce myself once more. I am Shin, the internet's resident dead author. Welcome to my bed of roses. You may notice that there are some changes today, including that I can do this now. And then I come back. And then I leave, and then I come back. Isn't that cool? I set that up today. I did not have that yesterday. I also exist in this little starry space now because yesterday I swapped right from the start screen to my drawing desk and realized that I did not quite like that. It made me feel pressured to start drawing too early, and I didn't actually take my time talking before transitioning into it. So here we are. We evolve. We learn. I did watch back not the entirety. A fair bit of yesterday's stream, and people say don't look back, but I was a little hung up on it. I was a little bit unhappy with something, so I was like, you know what? We need to look back sometimes to reflect. We don't walk backwards, but we look backwards at the very least, so that we can tell what went well, what did not. I wrote out a list for both things, and I made some changes today, including being here and talking to you from this little spacey environment. And the PNG tuber. I'm pretty impressed that it worked. I have these sprites for my regular content. You'll see them in shorts sometimes, and they come up in my long form video, or they will when that's out, and they will when I actually edit them in. But now they can be used here too. And I maybe I'm the most impressed person with that, but that's okay. I think we can move on to the next screen. So this is basically a part 2 of yesterday's stream. Yesterday, we drew my boy Solar for the long form content that I have coming up. I need a few panels, and I need to lock in. So this is a lock-in stream, but it's also a little bit of a chill stream, a chill lock-in stream, if you will. And today, as promised, I am going to be drawing Fia, which I wanted to do yesterday, but I ran out of time. I ran out of energy, more than I ran out of time. But we're drawing the following Fia today, so come along with me to my desk and let's work in Photoshop together. This is my singing it in. Does that make it more exciting? Drum roll, please. Hey! I'm over here too. Aside from Little Shin, she's still working away. In fact, I considered removing Little Shin altogether because I'm not sure if you require 2 of me. But then I thought, yeah, you do. You do require 2 of me. And then I can also multitask. I can talk and work because I have duplicated myself. Yes, mitosis. Shin mitosis. That's the right word, right? Sometimes I mix up mitosis with osmosis, and hopefully I'm using the right one at the moment. Okay, Photoshop is up. Photoshop is running. And this is what we ended off with yesterday. We finished up this solar panel. The solar panel! Oh my gosh. We finished up the solar panel. Oh, forget the drawing. I'm not an illustrator. I might be a solar panel manufacturer. That's what Little Shin is doing. She's not using her paintbrush to draw. She's That's a hammer. You just don't know it. That's a hammer, and she's working away at installing her solar panels. I'm not even sure, would you use a hammer on solar panels? Probably not. You might break them, right? They're kind of, I want to say they're kind of fragile, but they go on the roof. So they have to be able to withstand the weather. So maybe they're not as fragile as I think. Or maybe they are, and they have to be handled very carefully. I'm not sure. I am evidently not a solar panel expert. Only I am, because that's what we're looking at, and I made this solar. Okay. I have worked out a few of the kinks that we had yesterday with Photoshop, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through. I'm very proud of myself, considering yesterday's stream was entirely me freaking out over not knowing what was what, and I had to call in some external tech support to coach me through working through the basics, the absolute basics of Photoshop. So maybe today the eyedropper tool will not choose violence against me, and maybe today I will figure out how to zoom in and out. Hopefully I will not make any zoom mistakes, and maybe, if we're lucky, I'll even zoom in the right direction. We will find out together. I have not touched Photoshop since ending stream yesterday. Well, okay, I haven't touched the actual canvas since ending stream yesterday, but what I have done, and what I can show you that I have done, is this. Oh, we've made our first mistake. Okay, hold on. I can still, oh, it came back. I can still save this. It's inching its way in. Give it a moment. It has some performance anxiety. Oh no, I'm just making a fool of myself, but that's okay. That's what we did yesterday too. There we go. I have them set up side by side now, so I can use this as a reference window. It's just occurred to me, I don't know whether or not I can color pick off of this onto the following canvas. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why it wouldn't. Bloop. And let's hit our brush tool back in and go back here and make a layer underneath, which I know how to do. I know how to make a layer at the very least. I have at least not lost the skills that I had before yesterday. Oh my gosh, it worked. I'm so happy with that. This was one of my greatest concerns yesterday. Well, no, that's a lie. My greatest concern yesterday was not knowing anything. So I'm glad at least we can do that. Not that I think we're going to be coloring today. It is just nice to have my reference window somewhere I can see it a lot easier. The only reason I'm not going to be coloring is because I don't want to commit to having to color all the panels, because I haven't decided if that's what I'm going to do yet. So I'm going to leave it this way. Play it by ear. We'll finish the sketches and the line art first before backtracking and figuring out, number one, if we want to color it or if it looks better uncolored, or if we are going to color it, how we are going to do so. Because I don't want to lock it in now and have to change course later. Because that'll be maybe not a waste of time, but definitely not an effective use of it. Wait. Okay, we're going to move on to a new layer. Oh, I already had a new layer. Oops. We'll delete that, and we're gonna close the group that I currently have open and set this at the top, and we're gonna work on drawing Fia. I have just decided I want to swap these around, so give me a moment to get this out of my elbow space and onto the other side. Oh, we failed. We have failed. Let's try that again. Okay. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay. This is a fixable situation. So then I can pull this one out on its own. Oh well. Maybe I ought to have not messed with it. At least I showed it off before messing it up. Oh wait. Wait, I had it for a moment highlighted the way I wanted it to. Aha! Okay, you know what? We're not gonna change it. We're gonna leave it that way. I am not one to be picky, and I guess I will just put it as far off to the side as possible when I need it out of my way. Okay, our first trial. Can I zoom out? Aha! We have managed the first basic step. Oh, another thing. Oh! I wanted to set up an actual swatch palette so that I could actually access the colors I want more easily and have them set as a, like, similar to how I have my Procreate palette. That's kind of my goal. I want to get it as close to Procreate as possible so that I can alternate between the two. Oh, speaking of Procreate, I can share this, that yesterday what had happened was, and why I ended up unintentionally having to learn how to work on Photoshop from scratch, essentially, was because Procreate decided not to talk to OBS. Even though I had troubleshot it. Is it troubleshot or troubleshooted? Troubleshot sounds better to me, but I'm not an expert. Anyway, I troubleshot it multiple times. Right before hitting stream, the two decided they no longer wanted to communicate. And that made me a little sad. It made me a little sad and a little flustered, but I changed course and we ended up on Photoshop. Oh, I've messed up my layout. Look at here, wait. So, right after ending stream, I tried it again. And lo and behold, they linked to each other seamlessly, as if they had never given anyone trouble ever before. And as much as I was like heartbroken as it was happening, especially pre-stream, to how amusing it was for it to boot back up again. I could not be mad because I was just like, that is too hilarious to let up. Or to be upset about. Like, the comedic value ended up outweighing my grievances greatly. So, today today Procreate was up and running just fine. No problems, no issues. They hooked up, they were speaking to they connected. They connected and they were if I had gone forward with that would have been a very different sentence. They spoke to each other just fine. However, I decided not to pivot back into my comfort zone of using Procreate. I decided we would continue on Photoshop because we've already started and I'm doubling down. And here's why. I can explain why. We already have the first two solar panels. Sorry. I think I'm gonna giggle every time I say that. We have the first two solar panels done already. So if I were to suddenly swap to Procreate, the brushes would be different, the texture would be different. In general, the workflow would be different, and I feel like that would come across once they were put together. I don't like this angle of the head. I think I'm gonna go back in and make him look... I don't know. We'll come back to the head. Yes, I was saying that I feel like that difference would be visually jarring when they would be put next to each other. So I have made the executive decision to double down and continue working here on Photoshop. Where does the object move to? Oh, right here. I kind of want this to be opposite to solar. Oh, I'm not actually object moving. There we are. Do I? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna switch back between here and here and see if that's what I want. Does this read the way I want it to? Weird thing about panel placement is that sometimes you have to like purposefully do it wrong. I've noticed that sometimes it works in your favor to not actually arrange things like they would in a real life scene. So here, for example, I'm trying to figure out if actually posing them as if they're in the same space is what I want to do, or if I want to make it make less technical sense for the sake of readability. I.e., compositionally, should they be facing the same way and looking up at each other? Or does having them face opposite ways, as it probably would be, or as it accurately would be, would that be better? Hold on, wait. Wait, I might be lying. Wait. I'm trying to pose it in my head. So Solar is looking down towards his left shoulder. Fia would be looking up past her right shoulder because Solar has just stepped on. So they are facing forward the same direction. So their forward is the same way. So Fia's looking up towards her right shoulder. And this is correct. Okay. So I do have it staged correctly, but I don't know if I have it staged legibly. No, I think this is fine. I think once we have eyes in there, this will be okay. This is part of what I was saying yesterday about how trust the process. Art making is in general, and then by streaming it, you're kind of putting it out there in all of the trust the process phases. Like, if I were to decide halfway through to scrap something, it would be in front of people's eyes, rather than how it normally goes, where you can just, like, it's only yourself that you disappoint, essentially. But sometimes people like work that you're not satisfied with. Oh, I don't have a layer selected. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes people are satisfied with work that you're not satisfied with, so sometimes you get hit with the, but no, it looks good. But I'm like, but it's not what I want. It could be fine, but it's not what I want. And then by putting it out there before I have presented to you what I want, and instead presented to you how it's going, essentially, rather than this is it and it's final, but right here this is it, a work in progress, and I might change my mind. And there's a little bit of it's not quite vulnerability. Maybe a little bit. Maybe if I was doing something a bit more personal, a bit more soul-like, rather than this, which is a bit more, how do I phrase what I'm trying to say in a way that makes sense? I guess what I'm trying to say is that if the process was more process heavy, which there's plenty of art that ends up being like that, where the process is so much more raw than the end product, And the end product ends up becoming rawer or more personal because of the personal nature of what went into it, right? Whereas here, I'm introducing the characters to you. Essentially is what these panels are for. Is I'm showing you these are Solar and Fiat, rather than showing you these are the souls of Solar and Fiat. Like, I am purely trying to get their appearances across to you, so it's not quite as deeply personal as I've analyzed this character, and this is how I'm presenting them to you. So from that sense, the process is not quite as vulnerable. It's still a little vulnerable because I'm showing you my art before it's pretty. Including this. Okay, wait, let me zoom out, because this is a common occurrence for me. I just drew that eye, both too high and incorrectly in perspective. Why is this eye smaller than the eye that is receding into space? I'm not quite sure. I am not quite sure. And I always make this mistake, and I always have to remove it. I always catch it, and I always have to remove it, but why would I zoom out? Why would I zoom out and catch it, like, decide where I'm placing it before I've placed it and removing it? Oh, can you flip the canvas? That would be helpful at this very moment. Can I flip this canvas? Wait. File? I cannot tell. I will figure that out before next time. But right now, if I try to figure it out, I'm gonna go very quiet for a very long time. So we will just continue forth like this. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's vulnerable in the sense of I'm showing you imperfection as it comes, rather than holding the imperfection solely to myself and only bringing it to your eyes once I have, maybe not perfection, maybe that's not what I'm going for, but at least intentionality. At least it's been revised before it's hit your eyes. When I hold on to it until completion. But I personally really like watching people's process. And I think the internet has started to believe that also. This eye is a little too upturned, and I don't think it's quite right. Yeah, I was saying, I think the internet has begun to believe that also. That, like, the process, it's such a weird discrepancy, because on one hand, fast content has gotten so much more integral to us. But at the same time, it's like a short piece of content that shows your process does better than a standalone image. Like, people like to see that your hands have created something. That a human being was put into this final project. And I guess that makes it less scary. I can't find the eraser. Oh. That is another thing that I did. I ended up moving around my workspace, and I thought that it would be more natural to me. I thought it was more... What is the word? I thought it would be more... I'm blanking on the word. What's the word for when something looks more like you would expect it to look? I don't know. I can't remember. It'll come back to me in like an hour. And I'm gonna be really upset. And then I'm gonna say, oh, when I got fumbled on that word, this is what I was thinking of. I've forgotten what I was talking about. I'm now so concerned with figuring out what the word was that I forgot where I was going with it. Oh, I was saying that I had changed up my setup to make more sense to me. but it's actually backfiring a little bit because I don't know where things are. I didn't give myself a chance to readjust to them, so even though I have the brush and the eraser now at the top of the toolbar, I had forgotten that I put them there. So I just spent a solid minute staring at the screen trying to figure out where the eraser brush was. Oh, I ought to talk about Fia. I ought to talk about Fia because we talked about Solar, but we didn't get to talking about Fia yesterday. Because we didn't get to drawing Fia yesterday. So this is Fia, the latter half of Solar and Fia. That's crazy. That's crazy that there are two namesake characters and the second character is the second namesake character. Whoa. So this is Fia. Fia is free food crap. Like Solar, a cybernetic being. But a human being in a cybernetic body. Basic, well, not basic, but like standard cyberpunk stuff, except it's not a cyberpunk. So Fia here is a token rich boy. Yep, rich boys as we know them. I like to describe Fia as if you drew a line between anime Trevor Belmont and Eugene Fitzherbert, Fia would be somewhere in the middle. Somewhere on that cider. Oh no! Oh, we're fine. Nothing bad happened, I just nicked it. Fia's nose is such an integral part of his design. To the extent, on the speed paint for the reference photo that I have open on the side, a solid chunk of it, like I want to say, like a tenth of that speed paint. And this was a couple hour long project. I'm pretty sure like, oh, I'll have to check the Procreate, like canvas information, but I'm pretty sure the entire project was around, I want to say 10 hours of work. I want to say 10 hours went into getting their design pages done. A solid fifth of that, I think, was dedicated just to the little headshot that I have here to get the nose the way that I pictured it. And you'll notice from my art style, I am not one to draw noses. So the fact that I gave Fia a defined nose kind of messes me up a little bit because noses to me are like exclusive to my drawing realism. So I don't stylize them quite as adeptly. Or, rather, there are only certain noses that I have really, really practiced. Like, certain characters of mine, and Fia will get there eventually. Certain characters of mine do have very important nose types to their character design. So Dracula in the book is described to have an aquiline nose. And I was like, oh, gotta give that to my Dracula for better bozos. And as a result, I can draw his aquiline nose so much better now because I've been doing it over and over and over again. So maybe, or not even maybe, surely, once Fia has been around for a little bit longer, Fia will get to that point also. Haha! Haha! I was successful. Okay. I think the eyes are a bit too buggish and large. Which is pretty typical for me, but not pretty typical for Fia. Okay, I think that's... I'm focusing on just the back eye. I know it might look like I'm making bad decisions, but I'm focusing on just the back eye because I can go back and realign the second one individually. So I'm using the back eye as essentially an anchor so that I can tell how and which way to edit the second one. How do I get out of the lasso tool? Let me out of here. Or sorry, not out of the lasso tool. I want to let go of my selection and oh! I got it. There we go. Oh. I wonder, is there a way to turn off snapping? Because I don't quite know if I like how much it is snapping. Back to the lasso tool. Unselect. There we go. Okay, we've gotten the hang of at least the lasso tool. I'm still not happy with the nose. Ah! Oh wait, I didn't undo the selection. Oh, please let me out. Oh, okay, I have to hit on the canvas. Okay. Sometimes I do things half on autopilot, so I'm not quite sure what worked. We are once again back in an ugly stage. As if we ever left. Oh, okay. So, I'm going to pivot a little bit and try actually mapping out this nose the way I would on a more semi-realistic face. I'm not going to say fully realistic because I would probably add a little bit more onto a fully realistic face, but see, we've made our first mistake. And at least when I do it this way, I can catch that before I commit to it. The nose is supposed to have the slightest angle right there. Bring it back down because we are for some reason looking at them a little bit sideways. Yeah, and then we'll do the little... Oh, I don't know what this is called when the cartridge rolls up a wee bit. Oh, my tech support is in the house. Hello, tech support. We're drawing Fia, as the title suggests. Or maybe it doesn't, because it says Solar in Fia, but we drew Solar yesterday, so today we're focusing on Fia. Now, the nose looks a little insane at the moment, but I am going to shave this part away and see what we are working with now that we've drawn it with some more proper guidelines. Okay. I'm happier now than I was before. I don't like the point of the nose quite so much because his nose point is a little bit down-tipped. So I do think this will suit us a wee bit better, but I don't like how far it's extended now. Remember what I said earlier about compromising a little bit to make things make sense rather than make them look correct? This might be another one of... Oh no! This might be another one of those instances. I think I figured out what's wrong with this eye. Let's go back to it. And try again, I think. Oh no! That's not what I wanted to do. I just want to rotate it. Wonderful. We did it. And now I've overdone it. I got excited. Or maybe it's the other eye. There's a problem, but I can't place it. Oh no. That's better. Okay, now let's go back to the other one. And grab it like that. Oh, tech support. I was saying yesterday about the reference window, and I finally figured out how to get it to work. So I have it open on the side now. Oh, I think that's better for the eyes. Hold on, let me zoom out and take a look at what we're actually working with now. Option, and oh, we zoomed the wrong way. Okay. Oh, I've not moved back to the... We can draw with the lasso tool, right? I've seen people do that. I've not tried it for myself yet, but... I'm trying to chisel his face just the tiniest bit more. Tech support says, eventually I'll not need her help. No, I always need your help. For moral support. Something is wrong with that jawline. Sometimes to draw a face, you have to erase the majority of it. Somehow I feel like with Solar, I was a little bit more successful with drawing him and drawing him in one try. I feel like streaming did help with that. Tech support has agreed to continue supporting me. Thank you. Thank you for continuing to support me. You are greatly appreciated. Oh yes, I was saying that I feel like streaming helped me get Solar done quicker than I would have. Or maybe not quicker, but more calmly. That sounds bad. Than I would have if I hadn't been streaming it. Because somehow hitting this multitasking, like this multitasking workflow, or like headspace, helped me be less critical of my work. It's like occupying the second half of my brain so that it's not quite so mean. I was gonna say critical, but I do think I'm still being critical enough to keep the quality of work what I like, but without it being distracting. It's like I usually put YouTube on in the background and watch videos while I draw to hit this exact headspace and means of workflow. Oops. But now I am YouTube. Now I am the YouTube video that I put on in the background. Maybe that should be my gimmick. I'm your background streamer while you draw. How do I want this face to go? Is it correct the way that I already had it, or do I want to tilt it? Let me look at this without the lasso in my face. I do like this better. Now we'll just connect. Ah! I have attempted to draw with the lasso again. There we go. That's a face. Yep. That's a face. He's gonna be the slightest bit surprised. I think I'm too far away. Let's zoom back in. Something I did notice yesterday, especially while watching back the footage, I usually don't record speed paints by recording my entire drawing program. Instead, I just use, because Procreate has a speed paint feature, I just export that. And you'll notice that by looking at particularly my short form, like my short form speed paints. Oh, I didn't unselect the rotate tool. Ah! I need to go back to the brush. Okay. That I wasn't swiveling the canvas around as much. So, use it. Like, that's a primary reason. That's what I was getting to. Is that that's a primary reason that I use the actual built-in speed paint trackers as opposed to recording the whole screen, is because I swiveled the screen around a decent amount. Not as much as, like, I wouldn't say I swivel it around more than any other artist I've met. Because I have met artists who, genuinely, I don't know how they get through without throwing up as they're drawing. Because it looks like sometimes it could be G-force training. Isn't that the thing where they spin you around real fast? Like, your canvas has no business figure skating. But I think this is my first time actually rotating the canvas to continue drawing. Sideways. What? That's crazy. Oh, this eyelash is not pointing the way I want it to. I want it to go out. Yeah. Okay. That's a decent face. We can move on. The head shape is not quite correct, but that's okay because his hair is gonna cover that up anyway. So I'm not gonna stress over it. How do I make sure it's locked back at 90 degrees? I think that was correct. I think we did it. The nose bridge is a little long. Get the lasso tool back. And just whoop the whole thing. Just the teeniest bit. Oh, I didn't unselect my lasso tool again. I'm looking at the eyes and trying to decide if I still want them smaller. If I want them smaller yet. Oh no. I had it and then I didn't. And then I flicked my wrist instead of retreating simply backwards. Oh no. Okay. We've done it. We have a face. Which I said before, but now I'm a little bit happier with the face than I was the last time I said it, so it's okay, I can say it again. Fia 2 has the iconic floof hair, but you not might be, yeah, you not might be, because that's how this language works. You might not be able to see it, on the small reference window that I have open right now. But Fia's bangs... Oh no. I insulted it. I called it small and it decided to go into oblivion. Okay, there we go, we're back. His bangs start off at this little wee heart that I have drawn too large. There we go. There we go. I'm a sucker for little hearts and bangs. Like, it might be overused and overdone, and maybe everyone either has no C, or maybe there are too many characters with hearts in their bangs for it to be notable anymore, but I'm always a sucker for it. Riddle Rose Hearts, they could never make me hate you. Oh, speaking of Riddle Rose Hearts, it is my boy Eppel's birthday today. And I will be wishing on his banner later. If I had thought ahead of this, maybe I would have done it on stream. But alas, I will be doing it later. So send me your gacha luck. Or if you absolutely require it, I guess you can keep it to yourself and try pulling for Eppel. I guess. But would you really be mean to me like that? Would you really? What if it made me sad? What if I don't get Eppel? What if your luck is monumental and it will make or break my ability to get Eppel? I've went and done his flute wrong. See, it always looks haphazard, but I promise you, I wouldn't say it's intentional, but it... Ooh, I want to adjust this one. Oh no. Ah, here we are. And then we zoom in. We zoom in. We zoom in. Yeah. Yeah, we zoom in. I was gonna say, it might not always be perfectly intentional, but it is calculated. It can come out looking wrong if I don't pay attention to the hair pattern. And sometimes I'm like, oh no, I got it. It's the same hair texture I always do. And it's weighted slightly different. I think that's the most important part of the way I draw hair, is just where it looks heaviest. If I get that wrong, the entire charade falls apart. Let me go back and try and move this one. Yippee! Okay. That went smoother than I was anticipating. Tech support says she'll send me her luck. Thank you! You know how much my boy means to me. Hello, how long ago did we start? That's a good question. I can check for you. Whoop. We started... Oh. Just about... Oh my gosh, I didn't realize we were going that long. Just about 50 minutes ago. That's an hour of productivity for me. I think this streaming thing is forcing me to not get up from my seat. Usually I do that. Usually I wander. I take moments of pause that sometimes span a bit longer than moments. But I guess right now I'm like, oh, I can't leave my seat. And as a result, my workflow has gotten higher. My production rate has gotten higher. And now, my secret move. Oh, I don't know if there's a liquify tool on here. I've just considered it. I don't know if there is. There must be. It is a drawing app. But this will work just fine also. Go in like this. And you know what I was just saying about the weight? I can just fix it by rotating it and putting it in there. Oh, I took the whole shoulder. Oh no! Oh no! Decapitates you for no reason. Decapitates you unprompted. Wait. I will focus this time. I will not take any parts that I wasn't supposed to take. There we are. Just bring it a wee bit closer to the head, so it does look like it's somewhat, maybe not fully, but somewhat receding into space without losing the charm of the silhouette. Weep. I'm gonna do the same on the other side, also just a wee bit. This time I have no choice but to take some of the neck, I fear. Oh wait, I don't want the bangs. I have ruined my selection again. Here we are. My tech support says the lasso can be powerful. It sure can. It absolutely can. Whenever I draw myself, I basically have to go through this process. And sometimes even smaller sections than this. Because the weight of the floof is so... Like, you don't realize how important it is to the character design until you get it wrong and you're like, oh, that doesn't look like me anymore. Shoulder is dead. Yeah, I killed it. My bad. My bad. If you subscribe, there is a, not a high chance, but not a 0% chance that I will steal your shoulders. Whoops. I'm just a girl. You'll forgive me. You wish you were good at hair. Me too. Same. I get told that my hair, like the way that I draw hair, is very notable. Like, people can recognize it's me at a glance. However, it's also very simple. Like, there's nothing impressive about it. But, you know, it's mine. And that's what counts. And I feel like more important than being good at drawing hair is being able to pull it off. And make it look... I was gonna say consistent, but at least... Yeah, maybe consistent is the right word. How do I zoom out again? Oh, we've got it. Lo and behold, I have not figured out zooming out. On the conversation of shoulders, his might be too narrow. We may have to do advanced maneuvers and extend them, but this time without severing. See, I don't always take shoulders. I told you. Not all the time, but occasionally. I fear we've had the opposite problem now. I think it has to be somewhere in the middle. Oh, or just I need to lower my line thickness so that I'm not giving myself the illusion of big shoulders. I think that the back one was okay. Yay! Let's go. Let's go. Now let's give him some clothes. Because we need to be dressed. Dictates society. My tech support says I can also give shoulders. Yes. I can take and I can give. I can bestow upon ye shoulders. He wouldn't have had shoulders to begin with if I hadn't gifted them to him. So, it's all in my power. Remember, kids, your shoulders are subject to change. At my whims, specifically. I'm not very 100% sure on this outfit for Fia. I do like her femme outfit a lot more, which I can show you by just moving this along. Let me see if I can move the windows. So this is Fia's femme presenting outfit. And I'm honestly a lot more happy, or a lot happier with this than I am with that one. I don't know about the red leather jacket turtleneck situation. I do like the pants and the loafers. I think the loafers are cute. And I did not know how to draw loafers before this, so I'm happy that they at least somewhat are identifiable as loafers. But I don't know if it hits the bar that the femme design hits. I don't know. It's what I've got for now, but I'm planning on revisiting it. So, if you have any cute mask outfits that scream futuristic rich boy, let me know. I need some, evidently. I think I need to add, oops, just a small flyaway here. I think it'll make a bit of a difference. Okay, before I move on to line art, let me test it again against the solar panel. Oh, to the people who join later, I've made the solar panel joke, I want to say 3 separate times already. And I'm gonna laugh at it again because this is the solar panel. This is solar and this is his panel, so he's a solar panel. I'm funny, right? I'm funny, right? Okay, so what I was saying. The femme design is based. Thank you. Thank you. I had given her initially a more typical futuristic chrome outfit. So with a little chrome skirt and like a compression top. But then I was like, no, I want bright pink for her. I want whimsical. I want petticoats. And you know what? I make the rules. Even if it's a future setting, I decide what the aesthetics of the future setting are. So I can have the petticoats if I wanted to. And I feared this set a really good precedent for Solar's outfit, which followed. Who's Solar? Solar is this guy over here. So, these are the pair. This is Fia. Fia has 2 separate designs. And this is Solar. Solar was who we drew yesterday. Because we didn't get to Fia. So that was part 1, was drawing Solar. And they are co-leads for an upcoming story of mine. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. What we're currently working on are the panels for a long-form content introducing them. So these are, you're getting the backstage view of the Solar and Fia introduction video. So this is Solar right here. He's my baby boy. And this is their first on-screen meeting that you're gonna see. It's not their first meeting, but they have just bumped into each other. So I'm going back and forth right now, trying to test if this composition is what I want, And I don't think it is. I think I want Fia to be on the opposite side to how how Solar had, well, he is a soldier. How Solar had been positioned. Why can't I move it? Oh, there we are. I think this will be a little bit more dramatic if we get it looking like they're looking in opposite directions. If she's future rich girl, she's basically opposite to one of your OCs. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's so cute! Wow! They're like mirror images of each other. I'm really excited for people to be able to get to know Solar and Fia. That's part of why I've been jumping the gun and streaming, drawing them. I'm like, I need them out there as soon as possible. Did I really make his jacket only open on one side? Oh, right. It's supposed to be one of those sideways zip-up biker jackets, and I couldn't tell if those typically have a second flap on the side that they zip up on. So if anyone knows, feel free to correct me. But for now, I have it as only one flap. I think he has earrings, but his hair is covering his ears anyway, so I'm not gonna bother with that part. You wish you could send drawings of your OC. How do you pronounce that? Is it Rien? You can give me a phonetic spelling if you would like to, so that I can pronounce that correctly. You don't have a good way of doing that. How can I solve this? Because I would love to see your characters. I would love to see them and learn more. This is one of those times where it's like, I'm not a big enough creator to have a Discord, like, server, but I would love to have a platform where people can send me their stuff, just so I can look at them. Do you have any socials that I can visit after stream? If you do, you can put them in chat and I will go looking. Because I would love to see. My tech support says community post. Oh, right. Isn't that a thing now that you can post to the community tab? I don't know how to set that up, but I will try. So that for future reference, people can send me their OCs. Rena, you guess. Rena. Oh, I see. Unfortunately, you don't. Oh, no. Okay. Then I will confer with my tech support post-stream to figure out setting up a community tab that you guys could post to. Because I have had people talk to me about sharing their characters, and I have not figured out how to actually set it up to get it done. But I would really, really like to. In the meantime, are there any fun facts about your OC that you would like to share? While you have our attention. How are his pupils? I think they're basic, but sometimes I hand out fancy pupils without remembering. They are basic. It'd be pronounced like the back half of tangerine. I think that's a common pronunciation. Sometimes I doubt myself. I'm like, do I pronounce tangerine the regular way? But I think that pronunciation is pretty standard. So it's more like reen. That makes sense. Okay. Visually, that makes sense. And that is a beautiful name. Do I want teeth? The eternal question. Do I want teeth? I don't think I do. I don't think I want teeth. There we are. I think we've officially completed the sketch. Yay! Yay, we got the pronunciation right. That was such a clever way to put it, too. Like, that was such a surefire way to make sure that I actually got it right. Oh, see, I scrolled back out. Aha. Aha. Now we can lower this layer opacity. Maybe for the first time in this sketching process, I did not accidentally draw on my background layer. Because that has happened on 2 separate occasions. And then we'll start a new layer. Nope. That's not the button. This is the button. Oh, I made 2. It worked and I hadn't noticed, so I hit it again. I'm glad the swatches have still held on to my signature colors because I did not save them. And I probably should. I probably should make a palette group so that I don't have to go looking. I'm gonna group these from now so that I don't forget later. Put them in a folder. Double check against Solar one more time that the drama is what I want. Yippee! Okay. We're good. We can move on. We can, in fact, move on. Because I do need a copy of the sketch because there's going to be, not per se an animation, just a small squash and stretch to a slight variant of this pose when I edit it in. And I don't know how to animate using Photoshop. I can add them to my library. Tech support, the colors? Is that what we're talking about? There's a bit of a delay to when you hear what I'm saying to when I get your response. So I think we're talking about the colors. So let me know and I will try to figure out how off stream. Oh, I don't recall what brush size. Also, Reen facts, yes! Hit us with them. In the meantime, I'm gonna lower my brush size. Nope. Too small. Oh, tech support, I don't recall if you were here when I was wondering if you can flip the canvas on here. Like, just maneuver the whole thing left and right so that I can check my sketches. You can show me off stream how to add colors. Perfect, thank you. I would really appreciate that. Oh, that jawline just randomly became sharper. I don't hate that, actually. I do think sharpening it is what I want. You're not sure, but you'll look it up. Tech support, don't worry about it. I was just wondering. Do not stress. I've realized how many things I take for granted on drawing softwares that I'm comfortable with. That now I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this thing. And I don't realize I should figure out how to do that thing until I need to do it. Oh, there's a tangent. Oh no. Oh no, my mortal enemy. A tangent. That's okay, it's a simple solution. At least I caught it before I committed. I do think that working on Photoshop is going to make an interesting contrast between these panels that I'm working on and the rest of the video, because the rest of it is in a bit of a cleaner brush style from my typical Procreate library. So this is a little messier, and I think that'll make it stand out in a way that I actually want it to. So I'm looking forward to see how it'll look up against the rest of everything. Oh, we've been hit with the ream packs. His hair started graying when he was 8. Whoa! He plays piano, and he also has a thing about table manners and not touching his food. He's also got a boyfriend named another name. I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say Leus. But describing their dynamic is hard. His mother is also the owner of a major shipping company, which is why his family is so wealthy. I'm a bit of a ship nerd, so I'm slowly working on building out their fleet. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That's so cool. I love when you can use like hyper-specific knowledge and be like, ah yes. Time to put this to good use. Time to show off this knowledge of mine. But that is so cool. Thank you for sharing. And if you would like to correct my pronunciation again, go right on ahead. And maybe if you can't describe the dynamic between the two characters, what is... I'm trying to think of a fun question to ask. If they go on dates, what is their favorite date location? I got the use correctly. Yippee! That makes me happy. I only butchered one of the two names that you sent me. I feel like for Solar and Fia, one of my goals with their naming conventions was that they would be easy to pronounce at a glance, but then I went with Fia, and I'm like, it's gonna end up being the Skyward Sword. Is it Fi or Fi? Is it Fia or Fia? But considering that I'm talking about them, rather than putting them into prose, I think it's gonna be okay. I think I have worse character names to worry about. Oop. Oh! Wait! Oh, I didn't notice there's a little mountain slider, so I can zoom in and out like this. Oh, sorry, I'm probably giving you a stroke. That might be easier for me to read. I don't know. I am surely going to forget that it's there in the next 20 minutes. For me, strange character names is not even a matter of like uniqueness, it's just that I insist on spelling things phonetically incorrectly. For no apparent reason. There's a character in Bed of Roses named Leon. which is pronounced eerily similar to the name Leon, spelled Leon, but I insisted on spelling it Lain, so similar to how you would spell Liam, but ending it with an N. So he does get his name mispronounced as Leon. About as much as you'd expect, and I can't even be upset because, yep, that was my mistake. That was a decision I made, and it was probably not a good one. But I don't know. I'm a very visual person, so the way that a name appears on the page, like how the shape of it looks, is really important to me. So I fear I'm no longer able to compromise. Tech support says I can flip. How? Wait, I'm looking at the image that tech support has sent me. It's image, rotation, flip canvas horizontal. Let me try that. Quick pause as I try to figure out flipping the canvas. Image. Scroll down to image rotation. Okay. Flip canvas horizontal. Oh, we did it! Oh. We did it, but I have once again forgotten how to zoom back out. Yippee! Yippee! Oh my gosh, thank you, tech support! This is exactly what I wanted. Thank you for both doing the research and communicating it so quickly and effectively. If it was actually going somewhere, you'd probably just imagine they go on walks together or possibly play a movie. Go see a play or a movie every now and then. That took more thinking than it should have. That's okay. That's okay. Honestly, that sounds so cozy. They sound very sweet. Just from that, 10 out of 10 date idea. Oh, I don't like the iris placement. Hold on, let me... It's a good thing I had the foresight to put it on a new layer. Sorry for putting you on the spot if that was a very hyper-specific question. I'm gonna toggle off the sketch layer very quickly to see if that's actually what I want. It's okay, I'm glad. Yeah, I think bigger pupils is what I want. Because this is a little unsettling. In fact, it's going to remain a little unsettling for just a moment more until I add the eye shines back in. Oop. My eraser is too large. Tech support, does it appear that I'm doing better on Photoshop today than I was yesterday? Have I improved sufficiently for a day's difference? Oh, now that I'm working on the eyes, I was going through old sketchbooks. A couple of days ago, I was rearranging. Tech support says, yay! You're proud of me? Thank you. I'm doing well. Oh, it doesn't always feel that way, but thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, I was saying that I was going through older sketchbooks and discovered my old Sasaki Tomiyano, I think, right? Yes. Sasaki Tomiyano manga art study. Is tech support gonna set up the community post? We are going to figure it out off stream. We're going to figure out how to get it done and how to set it up and how to get it live as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my multitasking abilities are probably at capacity at the moment, so it will be put off until the stream is over, but I will try to get it up as quickly as possible after the stream is over. So if you remember, we would love to see your OCs. Sounds good? Yippee! But don't stress about it. We are just sharing for the sake of sharing. Is that how his hairline works? I think so. I think this works. Initially, I was like, oh, I wish I could import my Procreate brushes into Photoshop so that I can draw using my trusty dusty Procreate brushes. But now I'm like, how do I get this particular Photoshop brush onto my Procreate? Because I am enjoying this very, very much. Not so much the layout and the software as this brush in particular is my saving grace and my silver lining. Bloop. Aha, see? We've rectified the tangent a little bit, and I'm not quite as upset with it anymore. I did, however, leave the collar partially hanging open. So, get that back in there. And now we're on the final step, I think. I'm gonna lower my brush size again, hopefully successfully, and I won't have to go back and edit it. Do we reckon that I will be successful in picking a brush size this time? I think that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Darken the lip a wee bit more. There we go. There we go. Whoop, I've zoomed out too far. Toggle this off and let's take a look. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I just have one slightly strange question, which is, was Solar's ear clipping through his hair? Not on this one. On this one? It was not. Okay, we're good. Because I don't mind the ear clipping through the hair. I just want it to be predictable and consistent. That I'm not swapping to and fro multiple times. I think that'll do it. Woohoo! We have Afia. The only thing I've just noticed is I think the little ridge in his nose got bumped up too high when I moved his face around. Am I on the right layer? I am not. Am I? I'm not. Here we are. Oh, I've only taken half of it. Aside from severing your shoulders, I apparently can also snap your nose in half. Got your nose. Okay, hopefully this way I will be a little bit more accurate. Oh, and I don't have to be so careful about the hair because I was smart and put them on separate layers. Oh. I was so impressed, only to forget how to use the object move tool. How do I move just the nose? What? How do I get just my... Oh. Oh. I have the entire group selected, that's why. Okay, there we are. Okay, now I'm gonna, on purpose, just take the bottom of the nose. Or maybe just take this middle portion of the nose. Why does it keep selecting all the layers at once? I wonder. I deeply, truly wonder. One thing I will say that it does have over Procreate is I just rotated that and it didn't lose quite as much quality as I was expecting it to in the process of rotation. It would have gotten really, really fuzzy if this was Procreate, to the extent I was kind of bracing for that to happen. So I am rather impressed that it did not. I think that makes us good. No, I am still partially unhappy. Let's take the nose again. Okay, wait, no. I was happier before. I've been lying. Okay. We're good. Sometimes I have to make something go absolutely terribly wrong to make me realize, no, I was actually happy before. It wasn't broke. Why am I trying to break it more in my attempt to fix it? Oh, I've discovered what the problem is. It was just that this is a wee bit too low, that it's clipping into the mouth more than I would like. I think that's good. I think I'll go back and fix it after taking my eyes off it for a little bit longer. But we have done it. We've successfully added to the Solar and Fia by adding the Fia. I did what I set out to do. I fulfilled my promises today. Which is good, because yesterday I promised to draw them both and I did not fulfill my promises. I only half fulfilled my promises. I'm just checking the lash structure to make sure that I did not mess it up. Ah. Okay. I'm happy. We're done. We got it. And we have it up against the solar one. Wow. Wow, it does read better than I was initially anticipating it would when we were just in the sketch stage. I think we've done it. I'm gonna move us back over to the app screen because we have completed drawing. Boop. Oh, tech support, you weren't here for this. Tech support, I have a new scene. And a PNG tuber. And I figured out how to do it. I'm very happy with it. I explained this at the beginning of stream, so I'm going to be repetitive by saying it again, but I set up my sprites that I use for my shorts as a PNG tuber, which I didn't anticipate I could do with the same file, so I'm really glad that it worked out much more simply than I thought it would, much more simply than it had worked in my head. I think we have made decent upgrades since yesterday's stream, which was a little bit more scuffed than it was today. I'm still working at the kinks, but if this is the improvement between day 1 and day 2, I have high hopes. I have high hopes, and I will not slow down. It looks amazing. Thank you, tech support. Yippee! Thank you, tech support. Yes. So with that said, hopefully, I would like to stream some games also. Now that everything has worked more smoothly than it worked yesterday, I think I can move on to trying different mediums. Putting something else in the stream other than Photoshop. We'll try it out. We're gonna have fun. And once the stream ends, I will figure out, alongside tech support, how to set up the community tab so that we can see Reen, because I would really, really like to. I'm very excited. So I'm gonna hop off, figure that out. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your stay at my bed of roses. Thank you for stopping by.